Hey guys, welcome. It's episode 2 of my very awkward YouTube channel called Dog Talk. Or the channel's not called that, just this little segment thing. So today we are going to talk about dogs, and it's going to feature this wonderful coffee mug with the penguin, and this one's from Moody Gardens. I collect mugs. So the last one was from Branson at the boardwalk. Now we're going to I can't speak. Now we're going to feature Moody Gardens. Okay, so grab your coffee, put your makeup on, do whatever you want, listen to this awesome episode, or don't. I know I'm awkward as hell, so I don't blame you if you don't. But here we go. We're going to dive into it. Dogs. Separation anxiety. That's what today we're going to talk about, and it's kind of a serious thing. It's sad for your dog if they're having to go through that. You don't want your doggy to go through that, so we're going to talk about it. So let's talk about why they are the way they are. We learned back in elementary that dogs are what? Pack animals. They are pack animals. And what does a pack do? They follow each other around. So if mom goes over here, baby goes over here. If, dad, whoever, they're around their cousins, their grandparents, their parents, their brothers, their sisters. They're around everyone 24 hours a day. They eat together, they sleep together. Like, they are always around each other. They hunt together. Like, it's just, the pack is life. Hashtag pack is life. So how do we get our dogs, who are, it's ingrained in their DNA to constantly be with someone, and here as a domestic animal, they are now with us. We are their pet. So how do we get them to understand our way of thinking? And our way of thinking is separation. We don't want to be with people 24 hours a day. We don't want to have our spouse follow us to the bathroom. We don't want those things. And if you do, more power to you. I don't. I like to go to the bathroom in privacy. I don't get it with my toddler. He's 8. He's not a toddler. I don't know why I always call him that, but he is to me. So we need to get our separation. So this is how we do it. I like to kind of make it a game, and this will kind of help, especially dogs who are already learning not learning to be separated, but the ones who have already learned, hey, I want to be with you, and I'm going to be utterly depressed if I don't get it. I'm looking at y'all. We need to help them, especially, and then I'm going to show you how to help small puppies. So just like in my episode 1, small puppies, you can kind of teach it early on. So put them in a crate for a couple minutes at a time. Put them in your living room. Put a baby gate up. Go to the bathroom. Go put your makeup on. We want to teach them separation is cool. So if your dog has already got a little bit of separation, or even if they don't, even if you just want to train this. Also, side note, if you hear barking in the background, my neighbor's dogs on this side, Cassie, if you're watching, not your dogs, but on this other side, they bark from morning to night, and I can't get away with it, away from it, not away with it. Every room in this house, you can hear them. So I'm hoping that me standing by this air conditioner that I put on, because it's Texas heat and my central cannot keep up, maybe that'll kind of drown that out. So we're going to hope. But anyway, what was I talking about? Dogs. But what specific part? They're just driving me nuts. Anyway, so we want to kind of make it a game. I like to put a bed or a crate or a mat or whatever you want to put down on the ground as their mark, their go-to spot that they need to, that when I'm here, I wait, and then when mom or dad comes back, I get a treat. We don't want to call them off of the mat. So if you put them on, let's say they get used to being on a dog bed, and this is just starting off. Eventually, I like to put them in a crate, so I would move the bed to inside a crate just to kind of make sure, because if you're going to be gone a couple hours, you don't want them feeling, hey, she might not come back, especially for a puppy who's just starting this activity. So that's a little bit of a side note. Get them used to going in a crate. Don't not get them used to going in a crate. just because that'll save you. And then you won't be thinking about it the whole time you're gone, like, man, is he still being all right? Is he chewing up the couch? Is he drooling everywhere? Has he got diarrhea everywhere? So start with the crate. But this is a great activity to teach your dog. And it's great for, like, if guests come over or something like that. We want to have a little bit of separation. So without the ramblings of a mad woman, here we go. So get a little mat, get a dog bed, put it in a crate. Don't put it in a crate just for this activity. I don't care what you do. Free country. So take your dog bed, your mat, whatever, put it somewhere. And we're going to start moving it to different rooms as well. So you want to get them used to wherever you tell them to go on the mark, they wait there until you come back. So get them on it. Don't use stay necessarily. You can say wait for mommy, whatever you want to do. You can use stay, but it kind of might, if you're already teaching stay and other things, it might do something a little different. I would say wait. That way they learn mommy's coming back. So once you get them to learn to stand on that mat, I'll just call it a mat. Again, you can call it what you want. We're just going to call it a mat because that's what I keep calling it. So once you get them on the mat, when you leave and you just walk into another room, walk right back. Don't engage with excitement. We're trying to get our dogs calm. We want to make our body calm. Everything is calm. And why do we do that? If we teach them, hey, when I come back, that's where the good part is, that's the treat, that's the, then we're teaching them, I'm only happy until I'm with her, or him, or the kids, or whoever. So we want to still remain calm. You can calmly give them a treat, say good. You don't even have to say anything, just calmly pet them. We just want to get them used to the fact that it's okay to be alone. Good things happen when I'm alone. I get rewarded at the end. And then eventually, kind of just start giving, and you can even just give affection. It does not have to be anything great, big, but don't ever call them off the mat. We don't want, when we come back in, don't say, okay, good, come on. And then them come to, kind of like we would with sit, and then stay, and then come. I do that a lot for my clients. You want to go to them on that mat, good, and then they can get off. So, what did we just talk about? Because I ramble. But don't get them used to being on the mat. Don't call them off the mat. Never, ever, ever call them off the mat. And then don't be excited. We don't want that. So, coffee. It is so good. I could be a spokesperson for coffee. It is delicious. It's the best tasting stuff on the planet. I could just live off of it. Y'all know I drink coffee more than I eat food. I drink not like a horrible amount. I wouldn't think. It's only like 2 cups. But I won't eat until like 3 o'clock because I'll just drink the coffee when I get home because I like coffee. So now all the dietitians are going to comment and tell me how I suck because I drink too much coffee, but that's okay. I shouldn't have told y'all, but I did. So there we go. Coffee is life. Okay, so I brought my notepad and I'm going to flip it. So I want you guys to count how many times a day your dog follows you. So if you go to the bathroom, that's 1. If you go to the kitchen, that's 1. If you go to your kiddo's room or your room or back to the living room, we're already up to 5. So I want you to count in 24 hours in a day. Obviously you're asleep during nighttime, but is your dog following you in there? Count all those times. I want us to cut it in half. That is how we're going to practice this. So get your mat, put it out, and get them used to, hey, tell yourself in your head, I'm going to put you here for this particular one that I'm going to do, and then put them there, have them wait, go to the bathroom, come back, calmly reward your dog, and then maybe the next time they can follow you somewhere. But just kind of slowly build that separation. You can also try just putting them in a crate if you want, with a bed or something. Say wait, do the same kind of command, and then when they come back, just, if you put them in a crate and you close it, here's a little side thing I just thought of. If you put them in a crate and you close the door and they're freaking out, obviously we don't want to open the door until they're calm. But 2, try not to give them too much whenever you open the door. So it might be a good way to start just kind of getting them used to being on a mat without going into the crate until you're going to leave. Just until they understand. Because some dogs, the minute they see that door close or something, they're going to start freaking out. And then that might set you back. It just kind of depends on your training style, how you want to do it. If you want to rip the Band-Aid off and you're going to go in there for a little bit, or not. There are some dogs who they pick it up really quickly. If you just stick them in there for a couple minutes a day and then let them out and pretend like nothing happened, put a bone in there, close it, go do your business, come out, you know, it's just a way of life. Or we can do this little game thing. It also kind of helps with if your dog's always rushing to the door, put them on the little mat, answer the door, do practice trials. So you don't want to throw your dog to the wolves and have a bunch of people come in before your dog has fully got this down. And if you do try that and it fails, well, understand that your dog, I was going to say your dog's human, but your dog's a canine, basically human. I mean, they got smarts. So that's what we're going to try and work on this week. And so, again, I want to reiterate, do not call your dog off the mat. We don't want to be excitement. We want to make our body calm. If you're a high-strung person, try and take a couple deep breaths before you go and do this. I tend to have a little bit of high-strung nerves, especially when I go step into the dog show ring. So you just kind of want to ease that down. So that's a good, you know, separation anxiety is key. So that's kind of the game that I like to do to train that it's okay, blah, blah, blah. But if you have a young puppy, you can just teach them this is how it is. Like, block off the kitchen, like I said, or not the kitchen. I mean, you can do the kitchen, but the living room. I like the living room. That's why I constantly say living room. I will literally just block off my living room, stick the puppy in there, go to my bedroom, go to my kid's room, play Fortnite with him. I'm very good at that Fortnite game, by the way. I win or get second place every time almost. Every now and then I'll get 5th place, but I'm good at that Fortnite game. I will. But anyway, that's kind of what you want to get used to. You want to get your dogs used to. For the most part, puppies should be relatively good at separation, especially if you buy them from me, just because I have them, I mean, they're all together in their little playpen in the house, but I take them one at a time to different rooms of the house. Quality time. I get them used to that separation early on. And then they're used to being bathed by themselves. They're used to being blow dried and their face shaved all by themselves. They're used to, I will put a pin, I'm looking over there so I can visualize. I'll have a pin here with everybody, and then I'll have a pin right next to them. And I'll put one puppy over there in the pen by themselves, and then, you know, swap them out, put them in different rooms, with me, without me. So I really kind of drill that in early on, getting them used to like, hey, it's cool to be alone. And then when my puppies go home, they're pretty independent. They can change, however. Any puppy can change if you allow them to do, you know, follow you and do all this stuff. So if you buy an early puppy, get them used to it pretty early on, and then you won't have to worry about all these games. But it is nice to have. It's nice to be able to say, like, go on your spot, get on your mark, get on your bed, whatever like that. And then, you know, it's just a good deal. I like it. That's the way that I trained it. That's what I do. This video wasn't super long, I guess, because it's easy peasy stuff. It's very self-explanatory. That's how I do it. I still have like this much coffee left. How's y'all's day going? Hopefully it's good. I don't know. I mean, if you have anything else that any other ways, calming sprays, those tend to work. There's one puppy buyer who swears by it. She bought from me, and her puppy, she kind of let it follow her around a little bit, and then whenever she went back to work, because she took some time off, and that's another thing with COVID that hit all the people were laid off, so your dog saw you all the time. And then when you left, that kind of triggered separation anxiety for a lot of people, which, poor puppies. So kind of get them used to it early on. The calming spray, that's what I was going for. So the calming spray, she swears by it. She just spritzes it in the pen with their puppy in the crate, in the bed. Ramble. And she sticks it in there, and then her puppy goes straight to sleep. So there are other ways, calming vests, stuff like that. I don't know if calming vests work. I've never used them. I've never needed to use them. I just do all this other stuff. I've never needed to. So if it works, and you want to tell me, hey, it works, moron, it works just fine, my dog loves it. Great. That's awesome. However works your dog is awesome to me. If you have any other techniques, or if there's things that you guys out there in YouTube land may do that I didn't cover, because I didn't write a bunch of notes out. I just wrote like, hey, make sure you talk about this, make sure you talk about that, and it wasn't very much, because I just do it. I don't know if that makes sense, but when people bring me their dogs to train, I just do it, and I'm trying to teach how I teach these things, but it's weird. It's like riding a bicycle backwards in my mind. Like, it just comes so naturally. I just do it. But hopefully, between all the ramblings, you got what I'm trying to say. So let's recap just to make sure we got our mat or the bed or whatever. But again, remember, I call it just a mat. So we got that. We don't ever call our dogs off. We let them stay on the mat, and then we go to them on the mat. Get them used to that. Separation is key. Cut down your time. Think in your head, hey, Fido follows me all over 20 times a day. I want to cut that down to 10, then maybe to 5, maybe to 2, maybe just keep it at 10. That's up to you. We just kind of want to work on separation anxiety, preventing it and treating it, because you never know. Your dog, you may end up in the hospital and no one's there to care for your dog. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but let's just say. And then your dog has to go stay at the vet's office for boarding. Or your dog needs to get some kind of something done, and they have to be up there. Do you want your dog to be the dog that's drooling and getting diarrhea and freaking out in the crate because you didn't teach them that it's okay to be separate? No, no one wants to be that doggy parent. Like, no, you want to have, when I go and pick up my dogs from anything, if they're getting spayed because they're retiring, and then they're just going to live here and chill on the couch. Let's just say that. They're always so well-mannered, and everyone's like, oh, your dogs are just so great. Yes, we want to teach that. Even my puppies, because nowadays I have to go up to the vet and drop off the puppy and then them get their other shots, and then I go pick them up. They're always well behaved. They go in the crate, they're fine. Everyone always does. I'm pretty good friends with the people who work up there, and they'll send me little videos like, your puppies are just so cute and so great. And now they've all bought puppies from me because of that. So it's good to get those foundations. And you don't have to, I mean, this can be any dog. Go adopt from every shelter you possibly can and save some lives, and show these dogs that it's okay. I have one dog, speaking of the animal shelter, there's a dog here being trained for separation anxiety, which is actually what made me think to make this video. Her name is Sam, so shout out to Sam. She was having a hard time. She came here, her mom left, she cried and cried and cried, and usually dogs, they perk up because there's so many friends here to play with. I don't keep them in crates. They run around, they play. We have water days. I mean, it's just like a vacation here. She was utterly depressed because if I walked out of the room, if I went from, so I know I told y'all I have my living room blocked off. If I went into the kitchen where I can still, it's just a X-pin blocking off the kitchen from the living room, and it's to teach that separation. She's crying and whining and screaming like a banshee. And if I went into the bathroom, I could still see her putting on my mascara. She's crying and crying and crying. So these tips do work. This is what I've been working on with her, and just after 2 days of being here, she's already calmed way down. Her owner stopped by yesterday to see her, and she's like, man, I can't believe this is a completely different dog. Not jumping up, not crying, not, because she used to, when she would come home from work, her dog would be so overly excited to see her, and now her dog's kind of chilling out, mellowing. So it's a good thing to teach these skills. I can't drill it enough, I guess. Separation is key for dogs. We cannot take our dogs everywhere unless they're service dogs, of course, but the typical dog lives in the home and goes out for walks or gets to go in the backyard, but it's like in quarantine 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It doesn't know the life outside. And I'm not talking about the trips to stuff. Every single day we may go to work, unless you work from home. Every day kids are going to school. Every day there's being left and your dog is home. So we need to teach your dog, hey, it's cool for you to stay there while I'm gone. When I get back, we'll go on a walk. When we get back, whatever we do. But we don't want to be excited. So I like another side note. See, rambling pays off because I keep thinking of stuff to tell you. Another side note. When you're coming home and your dog is excited to see you, stay calm. Don't engage a whole lot. Don't open the crate door and be like, ah! Always stay calm. I like to tell people, basically ignore your dog for the first couple of minutes. That's what I even do. I put them all in crates to sleep, because I'm telling you, if I don't, they would keep me up all night with their playing. They love to play. They'll just bark and bark like, I love to play. Playing is life. And I'm like, oh, but children, I want to go to sleep. Because some of them are itty bitty babies. And so they're like, just play with me. So everyone goes in a crate to sleep. Well, when I get up, I'll open up the sliding glass door. And then I'll open up everyone's crate. And they all run outside to go to the bathroom. I let them in. And I still don't overly engage with anyone. I'll be like, oh, good babies. And I'll get everything I need to do. I'll make some phone calls to the clients of the day. I'll maybe send an email, and then I'll go play. And it's like maybe 10 minutes of them being, after they go outside to potty and they come in. Oh, I feed them in between that time too. So I guess I'm letting them potty, feeding them, doing emails, sending stuff, calling people, making these videos if it happens to be a Saturday or Sunday. Saturday is my podcast day, and it's different than this. So if you want more dog stuff, you're welcome to listen to that. So, separation. We don't want to be overly like, hey, I'm the fun thing in your life. Just kind of treat them like you would anyone else. You're not going to run to somebody and be like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And if you do, that's cool. I'm not judging, but I'm very mellow. Anyway, so let's cut to the chase. Stop rambling, crazy lady. Take a drink of your coffee. And that will be our lesson for today. Separation anxiety. Separation is key. Understand that your dog may go through some withdrawals. Your dog might not understand at first. They're used to being in a pack. And once you can kind of understand that, it's just like dealing with someone who has a disability. Once you understand why they think the way they think, why they're doing something that they're doing, it makes it way easier to come from a caring place and not just a, for the love of God, stop barking when I leave. They're so used to it. It's in their DNA to follow you. It's in their DNA to want to be with you. Nobody loves us more and wants to stick right next to us than our dogs. So, I mean, to my dogs, I'm like a rock star. My kid's like, Mom, that's lame. I got my son a great big giant Jack the Pumpkin King cup for school. And because he goes to the Christian private school here, and they're like, you have to have a cup. Well, he couldn't do bottles of water because he never will put the lid on his water, and he'll spill it. He spills it all the time. And so I get him this. It's got his name on it. It glows in the dark. We had it custom made. And I'm like, oh, you know what would be really cool? Jack the Pumpkin King skeleton, right? I go into my little closet and I'm like, I've got these skeleton ice trays. I will put skeleton ice cubes in your water coolest mom ever. And he said, I'm weird. You know, I bought a Jack the Pumpkin King ball for the dogs, and they thought I was the coolest thing ever. Like, my dogs love me the most, I will say. No, my son is my entire life. But, yeah, he doesn't think I'm as cool as the dogs do. So, but do understand, that was the whole, I know it was a side point, but they want to be with you. They love you so much. So we just want to teach them that it's not a punishment to be separated. It's just, that's the way it is. Like, we can't constantly be together. It's okay for you to be over here. Sleeping in a crate at night, that's probably the #1 really good way to teach that separation, because it teaches them all night long. I don't like to let them sleep in the bed with me. You don't want them to think that they're equals. And that's a good way for them to get the separation, and you're sleeping, so it's not like you're having to worry about, like, what are they doing? I mean, just go to sleep, set it and forget it. But don't forget your dog. I don't know why I always say set it and forget it, but I don't want you to forget your dog. That's just what I say. So anyway, I will stop rambling. I hope y'all enjoy your day. Happy Sunday. It's the Lord's Day. I hope everyone has awesome favor this week, and you guys stay awesome.